Hey guys, Brian Delivers You the Goods here. I'm returning to you for a album review, and this is for another marathon studio album review I'm doing for Simple Plan's discography, which the last one I did was on Saturday, and I hope you enjoyed that album review, and that was for their self-titled album, but this one is for their, I believe, fourth studio album for Get Your Heart On. Uh, Heart, I mean to say, not the other word. um, that I just got done listening to. So I'm going to discuss what I listened to for this Simple Plan album, Get Your Heart On, and let you know my thoughts on it. So let's dive into this review. Now, I thought this album was decent, in my opinion. It's not the worst album, but it's decent at best. You Suck at Love was not a bad song. Can't Keep My Hands Off You, featuring Rivers Como, was a decent song, but not my personal favorite. Along with Jet Lag, featuring Natasha Bedingfield, was pretty solid for what it went for. I thought Astronaut was going to be my favorite song, but it wasn't the best, but it was fine. I think the weakest song is Summer Paradise featuring Kanon, and that song is a little cringy, to be honest. I just wasn't feeling for that song anyway, so yeah, I'm just listening to Summer Paradise, and I was like, this isn't that great of a song. It was okay, but it wasn't fantastic. But Freaking Me Out is one of my favorites. I like that one. Even though the electronic voice, the oh lyric thing, the way that they're chanting that, I don't know if I like that part in the song, but it did alright. So 4.5 out of 5 for Freaking Me Out, featuring Alex Gaskarth from All Time Low. And this song, Saved My Life, and Last One Standing were pretty interesting tracks to close out the album. They did pretty well. Loser of the Year, don't know if I'm feeling for that. Some of the way Pierre is singing the song, I don't know if it's good or not. It's something I'll have to come back to and see if it grows on me. But Loser of the Year right now is getting a 4 out of 5. Anywhere Else But Here, it's on one of the weakest tracks, but not the weakest. I think Summer Paradise is the weakest, to be honest. But Anywhere Else But Here's average. So it's going to get a 3.5 out of 5 in my opinion. Gone Too Soon was nice, but it didn't execute as well in certain areas where Pierre is singing the song, but it did alright. And there's some moments where Pierre's singing is pretty good, but then there's some moments where it gets a little cringy to listen through with how Pierre is singing the song, or whichever song it is on this album. There's only like 11 tracks, and I think the runtime's around 40 minutes or so, but I'm not sure. I'd have to look at the runtime for it, because I didn't look at the runtime for it online, on Wikipedia or whatever I meant to say. But yeah, Astronaut was gonna get a 4.5 out of 5 until there were some cringy moments in the song that I found to be the weak points in the track. With some of the verses, it runs very slow, and then the chorus comes up, and then it's not a bad chorus. So I gave it the rating it got because of some execution problems, and also the song didn't strike me as bad. But I know they're trying to make a good album, but this album was one of my weakest. Uh, at least it wasn't weaker than No Pads, No Helmets, Just Balls. That album was. Couldn't stand that album, to be honest. It was okay, but it wasn't fantastic. I think some of the singing in it kind of got cringy in that album, but yeah, this song Saved My Life was a pretty nice way to end the album, and Last One Standing was pretty solid too, so the last two tracks did pretty well. So, production, mixing, and execution, this album's decent. It's not the worst thing I've heard, but there's a few songs that bring the rating down, which are Anywhere Else But Here and Summer Paradise. Those songs are not for me, to be honest. But that's just my opinion. You don't have to agree with me on it. It's just how I felt when listening to this new Simple Plan album and for the next Marathon Discography album reviews that I'm doing. So overall, I think Simple Plan's Get Your Heart On was a decent album. Not my favorite, but I think the last two albums were good. That better than this one, to be honest. But that's just my opinion. So for a score, I'm gonna give Simple Plan's Get Your Heart On 7 out of 10. It was decent. It would have gotten a 6.5, but I didn't deem it to get that rating because some of the tracks are kind of likable. And for what it is, it's a decent album. Doesn't execute as great, but as the last two albums, but I did enjoy the self-titled album more than I thought. But for what it is, it didn't do a bad job. So 7 out of 10 for me. Comment below. Let me know what you guys thought of the Simple Plan album, Get Your Heart On, if you've heard it, and if you like this Marathon Discography studio album review I did for their fourth studio album, Simple Plan, Get Your Heart On. Heart On, I mean to say. I'm saying it weirdly, like hard. I don't mean it like that, but yeah. Hopefully you understand what I'm trying to, how to pronounce it. But comment below and let me know your thoughts on it. Tap a like on this video if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel if you can to support the channel. I will be returning to you for another Simple Plan album. It's actually going to be for the Get Your Heart On the Second Coming, the EP. I think I'm going to do that tomorrow if I have time to do it tomorrow. It's only 7 tracks, so it's not so bad, but I'll check it out. And then finally, I'll finish it on Saturday with Taking One for the Team, which I heard a lot of mixed opinions about that album. So I don't know if it's going to be good or not. And I know they have a new song. You'll be seeing a review for it this coming up Saturday. Or sooner than that. I gotta see when I have time to do it. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this album review for Get Your Heart On by Simple Plan. I did the best I could to make it as good as possible. I'm trying to say heart instead of hard, because that will sound really weird the way I'll say it. But yeah, stay safe, take care. I hope you enjoyed this Marathon Studio album review I did for Get Your Heart On. Heart On, I mean to say, by Simple Plan. And as always, I will see you in my next review.